Here's a video I started talking about and promising I'd make months ago. Never got round to doing it. I think I recorded some footage and then I didn't lose interest. I just started doing something else. So this is it's a shootout vid. I've got three proper pistol builds and a random best build ever that uses a pistol. And I'm just going to show you them taking on the same short bits of content. Hopefully keep this video quite short, it doesn't need to be long. So they're gonna take on the same game content, and I will show you the gear. I'll put a bunch of links in the description, Grimtools links and some stuff, links to other videos of these builds running around doing their thing. It's just a comparison. It's not to say one's better than the other or anything like that. It's just if you're thinking of doing a pistol build and you're not sure what you'd enjoy doing or what the pros and cons of each one are, this video, with a bit of luck, will give you those answers. So first up, and I'll just introduce these characters and then we'll do a bit of a gameplay thing. Here's a Purifier. He's got a Dagalon set on. Ignore the flipping inventory. I haven't cleared these guys' inventories out in ages. This is a Purifier. I've done a whole series on leveling a Purifier. The good thing about it is it doesn't involve damage conversion. Well, you can make it involve damage conversion if you want. It's not dependent on damage conversion. So you start off doing a bunch of fire damage and you end up doing a bunch of fire damage, elemental damage, whatever. This Dagalon set, although it's nice, there's a mythical justice armor set you can use. Where's the other gun? I don't know. There's a gun called Arcanum Sigilis, Mythical Arcanum Sigilis. That's a good one if you get two of them. So yeah, it's kind of dependent on legendary gear, but not so much. I mean, you can have a really good time just using what you pick up, running around with this. So that's a Purifier. And we'll come back to him and see some gameplay in a bit. Actually, I'll put some timestamps in the description, so if you want to ignore all this introduction stuff and just have a look at them shooting things, feel free to click on the timestamps in the description. Next up is damage conversion acid build. Depends on picking up two of those, and they're easy drops to get. And the prefixes and suffixes, you get corrosive, venom claw, you get all sorts of poison and acid prefixes and suffixes. They seem to drop quite heavily with those sort of affixes on, which is good. And you got that thing, that's an easily farmable drop. Putrid necklace. I'll link some videos to this. I've got videos that show where to farm all this gear. That basilisk mark, that putrid necklace and this gun. I'll link the video that shows where to farm that. So this is a Deceiver. It's not not anyone's first choice of a pistol build, but an acid damage pistol build, it works really well. So that's that one. So that's if you're into a little bit of damage conversion, but you still want to play as an Inquisitor. Damn these Inquisitors they get everywhere on gun builds. That's that one. Again, we'll come back to him running around shooting things in a bit. This one's the subject of my previous, most recent vid. The Apostate. It's not really a pistol build, but it kind of is, because it's got a gun and it's got that thing that buffs ranged expertise. Again, Inquisitor skills. There's all sorts of pros and cons to this. I'll chuck them on the screen. Hopefully there'll be some text there for you to read by the time I get round to having edited this. But at the moment, I'm just talking. So yeah, we'll come back and have a look at this one, shooting a few things in a bit. But I've got a whole bunch of videos I'll link with this character. And it's one of my favourites, probably my favourite build, because no one else does this. I didn't see anyone else do this. As far as I'm concerned, it's my build. You know, if there's a bunch of people out there who've already done this and claim it's their build, that's great. I didn't copy you, you didn't copy me, so it's our build. We'll see this one shooting a few things in a minute. And finally, but not last by any means, we've got this Chaos pistol build. if you want to deal a lot of damage, and I mean a lot of damage, on a pistol build, you're going to need the Dark Blaze set. That gun, that headguard, that thing there, and that belt. It's a weird set. Gun, headgear, amulet, and belt. That's the set. Now, the big downside of this is to make this build work really well, you do need that set. The upside is, with that set, it's just amazing. It's just crazy. And as far as the other items go, yeah, you pretty much need this stuff, but you don't have to have it. I ran around for ages. That's faction shoulders. I ran around for ages with the faction chest piece on before I got that, and it was fine. Yeah, I do like that character. I've done this particular build a couple of times, both in softcore and hardcore. You don't have to do that. I did. It's really good. So where I say the Apostate's my favourite build, for running around shooting things, it's my favourite pistol build. It's lovely. It's just, there's something wonderful about it. We see him killing some stuff in a bit. Right, let's get into the action. Right, you see him in action. I'll try and keep the summary objective, but it won't be. It'll be subjective. Looking at the Purifier first, there's no damage conversion to worry about. So you pick up a gun that does fire damage, you use it. Elemental damage to some extent. It'll do other types of elemental damage, but it's mostly fire damage. You get the dagger on set, it's kind of lightning damage as well. But there's no, you're not converting damage. It's not like you're looking around trying to figure out how to do your devotions to fit it. You're going to want to do devotions that sort of specify fire damage or elemental damage and the reduction of those resistances on your enemies. So there's no damage conversion. It doesn't rely on a single legendary set, although there's a couple of legendary sets that really do benefit the build. The Mythical Justice armor set, Dagalon set, there's some other stuff. Very good damage output. It will clear content really quickly. And the effects, I think out of all of them, probably if you get the right gear equipped, the damage effects are very good. They're spectacular. It's like a walking firework display. Next up, the Deceiver. Probably, after playing all these characters for a while, it's probably my least favourite, although at the time I really enjoyed developing it because I hadn't seen anyone else really do this thing with the two Venom launcher pistols, where you get, between those and the Putrid Necklace, you get well over 100% damage conversion, so all your elemental damage is getting converted to acid damage. The gear is easily farmable, although saying that, the guns don't drop until you get into Ugdenpog, so unless you've got a character that can farm them and put them in stash, or you've got a merit so you can go straight to Ugdenbog and start looking for this stuff, might be a bit of a faff, like the Apostate. Minimal buttons to press. I was using a few caster skills and then I just got rid of them. I wanted to keep the build streamlined to just shooting things. You can do that. And yeah, you can have problems against acid enemies that, you know, not particularly doing acid damage, but generally enemies that do acid damage will be resistant to it, like Rishalga. And there is a boss on your way to Loghorien who is acid resistant, and it's just a bit annoying. I mean, you can take Rishalga out, but it just takes ages. So yeah, it's all right though. It's a good laugh. It's worth trying if you want to do something different. Moving on to the Apostate, talking of doing something different. One of the big pluses for this build, as far as I'm aware, nobody uses this build. I've never seen this build. I've had a good look around to see if anybody does this. Most people who do Apostates follow some kind of blueprint for caster, which is fine. I mean, it works. It's pretty better overall than this build, but I just wanted to use a gun because of the Namadea's Eye and the buff that it gives to range expertise, the Apostate buff it gives to range expertise. Yeah, it can survive virtually anything. It's the combination of the resistance that it's got inherently in across the skills and the devotions, and the sheer volume of attack damage converted to health on skills and devotions. You'd have to seriously mess up to get yourself killed once you've got all the gear. I mean, while you're leveling up, it can be a bit of a roller coaster ride. And yeah, getting the gear and leveling up, it can be a bit of a faff. Again, same sort of reason as the Deceiver, only more so because the crucial gear items that do the damage conversion are in the Ashes of Malmouth expansion area. But ultimately, great laugh. And like I've said in a previous video, it's my favourite build, mainly because I kind of came up with it myself-ish after a lot of theory crafting in Grimtools. And finally, but by no means least, Pyromancer. Absolutely brilliant. High damage for a pistol build. Yeah, there'll be other builds that are damage better than this, but it's a pistol build. For a pistol build, it's very, very high damage. Like Rishalga in, what did I do Rishalga in? I'll link the videos. I think I did Rishalga in under 7 seconds in Ultimate. Over and over again. I used it when I was farming the Rishalga claw drops in Ultimate. And it's really quick at killing stuff, and it will do area damage as well, because there's just splash damage on everything. There's all sorts of things going off. The chaos damage is really good. And even enemies that are chaos resistant, because of the resistance reduction built into this, it'll wipe everything out. It's pretty reliable. Yeah, I mentioned the mobility because it's the only one of those three that doesn't involve being an Inquisitor. So there's no Inquisitor seal to stand on. You've got Blood of Krieg to cast, but you know, that's just you just press the button and 30 seconds later, if you remember, you press it again. So you've got no seal to stand on, so it's a little bit more mobile than the others that might need to be standing on an Inquisitor seal. However, it needs the Dark Blaze set to really shine. So if you haven't got the Dark Blaze set, or if you've only got a couple of bits of it, you might be struggling. If you've got the gun, you're laughing, because the gun lets you do a wield.
The most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off.
And the other bits do stuff to... I think if you've got all 4 pieces of the set, it does something to Curse of Frailty. Sticks a bunch of chaos resistance reduction onto that, or I can't remember. But anyway, you can live without that. So you can do a good Pyromancer without the Dark Blaze set, but when you get the Dark Blaze set, you'll just, you know, your jaw will hit the floor. You'll think, wow. So out of all of them, what do I recommend? Well, probably for ease of leveling and running around, Purifier, because you can just start doing that, and there are all sorts of ways to level a Purifier. The Inquisitors Word of Pain, or you can go straight to Fire Strike, or you can do all sorts of things. There's all sorts of ways of leveling a Purifier. It depends what you want to do, whether you want to do it quickly, whether you want to go straight to having 2 guns. So yeah, easiest one on there is Purifier, I reckon. Second easiest, Pyromancer, and ultimately what you're going to have the most fun with at the end of it. It's a big toss-up between Purifier and Pyromancer. I don't know. It depends. I think if I had to choose, I'd probably... Depends what I'm going to do. Most of the time, if I was farming stuff, I'd probably use the Pyro, because it's just really quick at clearing stuff and there's no seal to stand on. Deceiver is probably my least favourite, but don't let that put you off. I mean, it's a really good build. It's apart from the acid enemies, you're going to be whooping most things. And the Apostate, always got a place in my heart. That one, like I said in previous videos, it's my favourite build, mostly because I thought, kind of came up with it myself. But that's it. I don't know. Hopefully that video was as useful for you as I was hoping it was going to be, and I can now draw a line under that, because it's a video I've been planning to make for flipping ages and never got round to it. Right, let's see if I can churn out some more Grim Dawn content. I know people are enjoying it, and there's a limit to what I can do with Elden Ring that hasn't already been done to death. Right, thanks for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.